The long-awaited Switch 2 Direct is finally here, and it was pretty solid, excluding the parts where the audio wasn't synced or when it was broken. Really reminded me of watching early Directs because the streams barely worked back then. Although that could have been because I was watching them on my high school's Wi-Fi. Anyways, it was a fun throwback. I do have complaints about the Switch 2, which I'll get to after I go over the games, because they didn't really pop up until after the Direct. Also, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and let me know what your favorite announcement was, and how you're also upset about the prices. The whole pricing situation seems to be a continuously updating story, which is why I have been holding off on making this video. So if any info here is outdated, I'm sorry. One thing I was really worried about with a new Mario Kart is how would it live up to 8? I believe it's the best kart racer of all time. I remember reading an article years ago about how they were trying to find a really good hook for the next Mario Kart, and I think they did. Mario Kart World seems like it's just Forza Horizon, which I think is a perfect direction for this series. My only issue with those games is that I don't like actual racers. So if Mario Kart is going to be structured like them, I'm so in. My only fear for the game is that making the tracks in this one big open world and having them being fully explorable could cheapen the design, because they all need to fit within this same world. But before they even mentioned the open world, I was thinking that the track design looked really good. So it's something that has me worried on paper, but seeing them in action eased those worries before I even had the chance to develop them. I think because the Mario world is so cartoony, it's easier for them to fit all of these different tracks on one big map. And I really hope there's a lot to do in the open world mode too, especially given the price, but we're not there yet. I will get to that. They're also adding gameplay features I'm excited to see. The grinding can add a lot for track design, and I'm super excited for the rolling starts. The amount of characters and customization is a great way to have player expression when there's so many racers. I don't think this game alone is enough to be a system seller for me like Breath of the Wild was, but it could be a day one pickup when I get the Switch 2. What definitely won't be the major system seller is the Welcome Tour. I thought it was kinda neat. It seems like a good way to get kids into the mechanics behind the console. It should be helpful for anyone who wants to do repairs on their own console because it has a pretty detailed breakdown of how things work, but paying for it is going to make it hard to justify. Sadly, Nintendo is doing the PS5 version of next-gen upgrades instead of doing smart delivery like Xbox does, but at least it seems like if you have to pay for the upgrade, it's going to be more than a better running version of the game. Mario Party and Kirby are adding new content, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting a companion app. A part of me is wondering if this is what the Wii U integration was initially going to look like for Breath of the Wild. But for games where it's just a performance increase, I think it's going to be a free update. I've seen lists online of games that are supposed to get free upgrades, and maybe throughout the coming days, Treehouse will be announcing more. I just really hope they're not going to end up locking better performance behind a paywall, because at least with the new content, it feels more like DLC. Drag X Drive seems neat, but I don't think that game is going anywhere. It's just one of those fun little experimental games that Nintendo makes for themselves, really. Elden Ring coming to Switch 2 is very surprising. I really hope that means it's going to be running multi-platform games fairly well. The funny part is that this isn't even the most surprising FromSoft news at the Direct. A lot of the bigger third-party stuff that they announced are either stuff that I've already played or games I'm not really interested in. From that first big block, Split Fiction is the only game that I would play, and I already own it, so I'm not buying it again. The confirmation that the James Bond game coming to Switch 2 is a weird one for me. I like the James Bond movies, so I have been looking forward to this game. So this announcement is more so like reassurance that like, okay, they're still making it, because we've seen nothing from it. I was not expecting the Bravely Default HD remaster. Like, I was expecting it to be the Final Fantasy IX remake at first. I never finished the game because it got way too tedious by the end, and I was just done with it. But I did enjoy the first bulk of the game, so I don't think this is one I would get around launch. If I were to pick it up, it would probably be used at some point afterwards. They're adding new content too, which would be the main drive for me to play it again. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, another game I was really not expecting. Initially, I thought it was just going to be the Switch 2 port, but if it's adding new content, I think I'm going to want to pick this game up. It's no secret that I'm a big fan of this franchise, and because they're constantly pumping games out, I do find it hard to go back to older titles. Like, I'm not even done Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii yet, and now I have 0 to play again, but I'm really curious what the new content is going to look like. The main reason why I'm not more excited for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was because I wasn't the biggest fan of Age of Calamity. Something about the structure of the last one I really didn't like. When I played it, I thought I was just getting burnt out of Warriors games, but then I proceeded to really enjoy P5 Strikers and really enjoy Fire Emblem Three Hopes. So I really think it is just an Age of Calamity issue. So whatever this game does, I hope it's better than the previous entry. GameCube games coming to Switch Online, I'm so excited for. Soul Calibur 2 being the second game that they showed off really proves that they know what people want with the GameCube lineup. Most people I know don't care about Soul Calibur, but everyone I know with a GameCube likes Soul Calibur 2. They said that the games are going to run and look better. I really hope that's true, because when N64 came to NSO, it was a rough launch. My only disappointment is with Wind Waker coming to NSO at launch. No shade towards Wind Waker. I love that game. It is so jolly, but it showing up here, I feel like it makes it less likely that we're going to get Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Personally, I would have preferred ports of those versions. And the rest of the games they're adding are really solid too. Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon Colosseum XD, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Colosseum? That's like $2,000 worth of games they're adding to NSO right now. I'm so excited to finally be able to play Path of Radiance. That Switch 2 GameCube controller might be the only time I buy one of these classic controllers too. In the category of indie announcements I found really funny, I didn't know how much of Deltarune was out before this direct. And watching the trailer, I didn't even know what game it was until the Deltarune logo showed up. I had to message a friend to see if chapters 3 and 4 were even out yet, and they're not, so I'm guessing this was a big announcement. Borderlands 4, I feel like I would only get on Switch 2 if it runs well, has cross-platform, and lets me use gyro controls. I feel so bad for Enter the Gungeon too, because I feel like that trailer would have done really well if people were able to see it. Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition is in the same boat that Borderlands 4 is. The only reason why I would pick it up is if it has gyro aiming and it runs well. I have played a bit of it on PC with gyro and it feels very good. So getting that experience on the go is something I would look forward to. There's also a funnier reason why I want to pick this game up. The main reason why I bought the physical version of Ultimate Edition instead of just getting the Phantom Liberty DLC was so I could have a complete version of the game physically. Both times I bought Cyberpunk, I bought it on Xbox, and the only reason why I didn't pick up Ultimate Edition on PS5 was because it came with a download code, where the Xbox version has the game on 3 discs. But given how Cyberpunk launched, I thought it was important to have a fully updated version of that game physically. They then proceeded to update the game multiple times over the course of a year. Needless to say, I was annoyed that one of my preservationist reasoning for buying Cyberpunk again was just completely thrown away, but I believe they're done updating the game. So I'm now standing face to face with another version of Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition that could be the fully updated physical item that I wanted. And I'm worried that's going to happen again. Despite the fact that I already own the game multiple times. God, Cyberpunk is so good, guys. Please play it. It's the best Western RPG of all time. Fight me on it. I dare you. I just want to use tilt controls, man. The most surprising thing about the Final Fantasy VII Remake announcement was that it was only Remake. It's a lot like Cyberpunk for me, where I already own it. These are all fairly dense games, and if they run really well, being able to play them portably at hopefully 1080, 120 FPS would be awesome. They did say please look forward to more updates on the Final Fantasy VII Remake project for Switch 2 at the end of the trailer, so I think it's safe to assume we will be getting Rebirth and Part 3 on Switch 2 at some point. Silksong only showing up in the supercut of games with the release year is the funniest thing I've ever seen. That was such a power move to come out and just casually say, hey, just a heads up, Silksong is coming out in 2025. Anyways, here's Stories of Seasons. There are some games in here that I am looking forward to coming to Switch too, even if I don't end up getting them. I've only played a bit of 2 Point Museum so far, but I've really enjoyed what little I did play. I really hope that means the cursor and the Joy-Cons are going to be bringing more PC sim games to the console. Puyo Puyo Tetris 25, I'm excited for. During the first year of the Switch, me and a couple buddies played so much of the first one. Like, we got pretty sweaty at it. It was so fun. The Duskbloods, I'm going to be honest, I'm really not that interested in. At this point, it's no secret that I don't really vibe with FromSoft's aesthetic at all. It's just something about the games and the genres that never really appealed to me, but that doesn't mean I can't see the significance of this game being a Switch 2 exclusive. I think this really confirms how much PlayStation is stepping away from the Japanese market. Like, everyone's treating this game as if it's Bloodborne 2, right? I personally think this is the biggest announcement from the Direct. Like, if this game runs well and isn't like a significant drop from how Elden Ring looks. It's going to be a good showcase for what the Switch 2 can do. I think one of my buddies rented Kirby Air Ride once when we were kids, so I have very little experience with it. But I'm still pretty excited for the sequel, mostly because they got Sakurai back on it. We really didn't get a lot considering it's coming out this year, but I have no doubts when it comes to this game. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks solid. It's been way too long since the last 3D Donkey Kong game. Fuck you, DK64 is great. And if this is the rumored DK game being made by the Odyssey team, it's so exciting. And it's no way it isn't them. I straight up thought it was Odyssey 2 at the beginning. The gimmick behind it seems neat. My only complaint is I don't like how DK looks, but I guess we just have to deal with it. So yeah, overall, the Direct was solid. For the hardware itself, I liked what they showed. It seems like the dock this time is actually going to improve the power of the console. I hope the cursor isn't going to be uncomfortable to use, because having mouse-like aiming will be big for shooters and be really good for a lot of sim games. The voice chat stuff is kind of whatever for me. Like, I don't remember the last time I used any party system on a console. Like, I just use Discord for everything at this point. I do like how everyone can share their screens, and you can really make it like a Zoom meeting with the green screen, but they really got to work on the frame rate and resolution for the streaming. But honestly, the only use I can see myself getting out of it is with Mario Party, because I do think it's hilarious seeing someone's reaction to getting their stars stolen right beside the character. With how overly salty people get at Mario Party, it's going to be so funny. But other than that, I don't think I'm really that invested in Nintendo Connect. Realistically, I'll probably just end up plugging in the camera that I use for streaming. The Switch 2 Pro controller having back paddles is huge for me. Personally, I believe that should be standard in the industry, and it's probably going to be the main reason why I end up getting the controller. As that weirdo who loves gyro controls, I always kind of hated how I didn't have a controller with that functionality and back buttons, so this controller was practically made for me. But now we get to the complaints, and the price is... I was really hoping for $5.50 Canadian. $6.20 or $6.30, whatever it is. Oh, that's a lot, man. Oh, that's a lot. Oh man, I'm not happy about that. I'm really not happy about the price. If what we're getting with Prime 4 is the standard, with 4K at 60 FPS and 1080 at 120 FPS, but you know what? I don't get that on my PS5 or my Xbox. So that does make the price a bit more digestible, but it's still a lot. Like, gaming has officially gotten too expensive. And then there's the price of the games. I haven't seen a Canadian price yet. 80 US for digital Mario Kart and 90 for physical? That's a lot, dude. Oh my god, I'm not happy about that at all. A part of me is hoping that they were anticipating tariffs hitting Japan, and that's why the US price is that much. And generally, when it comes to the US price of games, I add $10 to figure out how much I'm going to have to pay for it. So 90 Canadian digital and $100 for physical? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I really don't like that. Please only be that high because of the tariffs. The main reason why I don't think that's including any tariffs, because the day I'm filming this, Nintendo announced that they are delaying pre-orders for the Switch 2 in the US. It's either because they have to raise the price because of them, or they're hoping the tariffs don't go through and they can lower the price. It's probably the former though. I find this whole situation frustrating because it's not good. I had no reason to believe before this happened that like PS6 and whatever the next Xbox is, games were going to be $10 more, and then the consoles after that, they would also be $10 more. But this really proves that we have to start playing $10 more with each generation. I used. And the game key thing is very worrying for me. Best case scenario, it is only going to be used in situations where you would just end up buying an empty case on Switch 1, because that's something I think a lot of people who don't collect for Switch aren't aware of. There's a lot of times where you buy a game physically on Switch and it will come with an empty case and a download code, or if it's a collection of games, only one of the games is on the carts and the others are download, because I really hope that's the only instance that the game keys are used for, because now those games can actually be resold. It sucks because they run into the same problems that digital games do, where if the service goes down, they're kind of bricked. But it's a middle ground I'm happy about if the alternative is no card at all. But I do see it as a route to slowly shift us towards digital only, much like I do with having to register the PS5 disc drive. When I made that video on the death of physical games, one of the reasons why I brought up Nintendo would never switch to only digital is because gifting a child a game does not land digitally at all. But this can lead us to a point where the consoles are basically digital, because kids will have something to open up on Christmas morning with this. It just has me worried that we're drifting towards an all-digital future. Honestly, I think my hottest take about everything we learned about the Switch 2 over the past few days has to do with the reaction. Why wasn't everyone this mad 5 years ago? when PlayStation raised the price by $10. Yes, it's insane that the price is going up again, and this can set a horrible industry precedent, like it did in 2020. Like, that is actually the most frustrating part about this. I've been protesting the price raise since day one, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I kind of just have to sit here and take it. And now that the protest has basically failed, I see everyone else protesting. Like, dude, it's too late. Where were you 5 years ago? I think I was really on the money in my last video when I said that any future price raise will be PlayStation's fault. Not because they're the first ones to do it. I'm pretty sure EA and Ubisoft announced they were raising this gen's prices before PlayStation did, but they were the first ones to get away with it. And when you're allowed to get away with something like that, every other company is going to see it as an opportunity to try to get away with more. And here we are. From Switch to Switch 2, games are jumping up $20. And I don't see why this wouldn't be happening with the next gen. Honestly, I think I'm just frustrated that I have been against this price raise since day one, and now people are here after it's 5 years too late. We let the market get away with this in 2020, and now Nintendo is going to push it even more. When I talk about people's inability to get mad at PlayStation, this is why it frustrates me. Because it has only led to negative repercussions that a lot of companies are taking advantage of. And I'm really mad that Nintendo is also getting involved with it. At this point, the only reason why I would pick up Mario Kart at launch is because I have a YouTube channel and I make videos. At the price that it's going for, especially what it's supposed to be in Canadian, I'd rather pick it up used. Yeah, I'm just going to say it again. Welcome to the fight against raising the prices of games. You're 5 years too late, but at least you got here. God, I hope a part of me was forgetting how many people were really mad at PlayStation back then. I guess it could be that I'm in more Nintendo circles than PlayStation, so I'm just seeing them backlash more, you know? Where I'm at with the Switch 2 right now, I would like to get it day one. I don't think I'm going to be too torn up about it if I don't. The price is definitely a big factor in that, but like I said about Mario Kart, there isn't any like big Breath of the Wild equivalent that's like oh, I need to wait outside to get this. I waited outside of an EB Games to get my pre-order for the Switch and Breath of the Wild Collector's Edition. And that was in the middle of a Canadian winter. For the Switch 2, I'm going to see if I can grab a pre-order for it online. I'll go to a GameStop a little bit before the store opens, you know, to get a vibe of how long the line is and if it's even worth waiting. But honestly, I don't see myself wanting to get there like 2 hours before it opens. It's not worth it for me to wake up way too early to wait out in front of a store, you know? I don't know, this direct was weird for me. I really liked what I saw, minus the price, but it didn't really give me the drive to really go out and hunt for it. I'm gonna try. Not gonna care if I fail. Honestly, the main reason why I would be upset about not getting the Switch 2 at launch is because it's going to take even longer for me to get a video out about it. As a big Nintendo fan, I don't know, it's weird. Do you agree? Think I'm an idiot? Comment down below. Like if you've also gotten mad every single time the price has gone up with video games and not just when Nintendo does it, please, I need to know I'm not the only one. And subscribe for more content. Follow me on other platforms if you want. Take care, guys.